As you can see, old Brucey is pretty well developed all around. He has a great upper body with a broad chest and shoulders as well as muscular arms. He also has a great back and core as well. And let's not forget the lower body. He clearly doesn't skip leg day, bro. So we've got our work cut out for us. To grow muscle and have a well-rounded physique, you're going to need to train each muscle group a few times a week while following the basic training principles. For the purposes of this video, we'll keep it to a 5-day training split. And if you only have time for 4 days of training per week, that's totally fine as well. So here's the overview. Day 1 and 4 will be doing lower body. Day 2 and 5 will hit the upper body. Day 3 and 7 will rest. And day 6 will be the one that you could skip if you had to, but it's still extremely important. This day will be dedicated to weak point or auxiliary training, meaning the parts of your body that may need a little extra work or those that can handle more volume. So now that we have the layout, let's get started with days 1 and 4. PSA, Batman doesn't skip leg day, so neither should you. For these days, we're going to pick 6 different exercises. Number 1, we're going to start with squats. And of course, you knew that was coming. It just doesn't get better than squats for building muscle mass. Exercise number 2 will be RDLs or Romanian deadlifts. This is a great exercise for hamstring and glute development as well as for the lower back. For our third exercise, we'll do dumbbell reverse lunges. The reason I like doing reverse lunges is simply because I feel a better stretch in my glutes and there's probably less of a shearing force on the knees. Although keep in mind that it's totally fine for your knees to go over your toes in most exercises. For our fourth exercise, we're going to do leg curls as they're great for concentric loading. With the last 2 exercises, we'll squeeze in our abdominal movements. Here we'll hit the upper and lower abs primarily. My favorite for these are decline weighted crunches and decline weighted reverse crunches. If you've never done these variations before, you're going to love them, I guarantee it. So next up, let's talk about the set and rep ranges for these days. For the squats and RDLs, let's do 3 sets of 8 reps. For the dumbbell reverse lunges, we'll do 3 sets of 8 reps each way. Finally, with the leg curls and ab movements, we'll do 3 sets of 10 reps. Now it's time to move on to our upper body. And if you're learning a thing or two or just enjoying me ramble about Batman and training, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that bell as it greatly helps out the channel and so you don't miss the next fitness videos covering your favorite characters. To be honest, Batman does have great legs, but that's not really what stands out about his physique. It's his chest and his arms. How else does he bench 1,000 pounds and throw bad guys around all night? Throughout the course of Batman's 80-plus year run, he's had several various artists and actors portray him, which means he's had a plethora of different physiques. Some of those physiques have been quite normal, while others have been similar to that of a professional bodybuilder. In Robert Pattinson's version, he trained for what seems like a less bulky, yet fit and functional physique. He accomplished this through martial arts, circuit training, a sandbag routine, walking, and boxing. And of course, he cleaned up his diet a bit by cutting alcohol, processed meats, and fried food. But this is just one version of Batman's physique, and if it's the one that you prefer and would like to accomplish, then go for it. In this video, however, I want to teach you how to achieve his more ripped look from the comics. Not the bodybuilding version, but the muscular and lean versions. Now keep in mind, we're not looking to be as strong as Batman. He bench presses 1,000 pounds from what I've been told. Side note, this is technically possible if you're among the strongest benchers in the world and are equipped. Lifting raw, however, the record is only around 800 pounds currently. And I say only, but that's still wild. All this to say, we won't be as strong as Batman, but we can give ourselves the best chance to strive for a similar physique given our genetics. Given this, we'll need to hit the upper body just as hard, if not harder, than the lower body. With the upper body, we'll perform 7 exercises and start with our heavy compound movements. And remember, we'll be adding additional volume with that bonus weak point or auxiliary training day. For our first exercise, we'll perform either the barbell bench press or the dumbbell bench press, your choice. Both are great options for maximizing pec development. The second exercise will be the barbell pin lay row for major back development. Then we'll move into the dumbbell incline bench to hit more of the upper pecs and the lat pull downs for back width. And finally, we'll finish with the bis and tris. For the bis, let's perform concentration curls. And my clients always love doing this with a slight twist because they feel the pump a lot better at the end of the lift. And side note, that's the primary function of the bicep, is to supinate that forearm. So if you can curl and supinate that forearm, you're getting additional bicep work. For the tris, we'll do close grip bench press as it is one of the best movements for tricep hypertrophy. And to top it all off, we'll do band or cable lateral raises for the delts. As far as sets and reps go, we'll perform the bench press or dumbbell bench and pin lay rows at 3 sets of 8 reps. For the dumbbell incline bench and lat pull downs, we'll do 3 sets of 10 reps. And we'll top the training off with 3 sets of 12 reps for all the arm and shoulder movements. Now it's time to move into the weak point or auxiliary training day. I have to be honest with you, this is my favorite day of training because for me, it's like the bro day. Still scientifically programmed, of course, but I just like to say bro a little extra on these days for some reason. So for this day, take the time to really evaluate where you are physically and where you can make most of your improvements. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to cover some of the muscles that could really use a little more volume without taxing the nervous system too much. So we'll choose 5 exercises for this day. The first exercise will be pull-ups. This is a great exercise for lat and arm development. And keep in mind, you can do this on the assisted pull-up machine or with bands if you need to. Next, we'll go into dumbbell lateral raises for delt work, and then dumbbell curls and dips for the arms. And then we'll top it all off with dumbbell standing calf raises. Remember, this day shouldn't be taxing and should be relatively easy compared to the others. So let's keep it simple at 3 sets of 10 reps on all movements. So this is the resistance training portion of our Batman physique routine. In terms of the cardio portion, we actually don't want to do a lot, especially if bulking is a consideration. So let's keep this basic with 2 options. The first is to simply focus on NEAT cardio or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is just a fancy way of referring to your basic daily movements like walking or working in the garden or playing with the puppy. The best way to track this is simply by counting your steps using a Fit or smartwatch, and your phone is another good option for tracking steps. Just download a pedometer app if it doesn't already have one. I know if you have an iPhone, the health app should automatically track steps. A good number of steps to shoot for each day is about 8,000. Now this will vary depending on your average steps. For some of my clients, they need more like 10,000 steps, and for others, 6,000 would be pushing it. I recommend tracking your daily steps for about 2 weeks, taking the average and then just bumping it up by about 1,000 or 2,000 steps from there. Unless you're already getting 10,000 plus, in which case you're already good. The other form of cardio that you can perform is HIIT or high intensity interval training. If you want something that's a bit more intense than walking, then this is perfect for you. I'd recommend somewhere around 3 to 4 sessions per week for about 20 to 40 minutes. Now this can be accomplished through various exercises like jump ropes, battle ropes, sprinting, swimming, and cycling, among others. And this training should also fluctuate in intensity, meaning that you may go hard for 30 seconds and then slow down for a minute. I'll leave the specific pacing up to you, but just like the steps in resistance training, start with what you're comfortable with and build up from there, and make sure you're tracking the whole way. In review, we'll do lower body on days 1 and 4, upper body on days 2 and 5, and our weak point training or auxiliary day on day 6, with our 3rd and 7th day being rest days. Stay on this program with these sets and reps for a full mesocycle of about 4 to 6 weeks. Start a little lighter with about 4 to 3 reps in reserve, then go down to 2 to 3 reps in reserve, then 2 to 1 rep in reserve, and finally 1 to no reps in reserve or failure on the peak week. And that depends on the exercises that you feel most comfortable with doing that on. Like you wouldn't want to go to failure on squats, but you may be able to on curls. And make sure to always deload the week after peak week and before you start up the new mesocycle. And then when you get to that point, you need to change it for variation. You should still emphasize the same muscles, just perhaps change the sets, reps, and or exercises. Let me be upfront with you, Batman has a lot of muscle mass and it takes years to accomplish. It's no quick achievement, but in many ways that makes it worth it. Also, this plan alone won't get you totally there, but it will start you on a damn good path in that direction. Keep in mind you'll need a decent nutrition plan to go along with it, and luckily I covered the basics of nutrition in a video that I'll link below. If you decide this plan is for you, let us know in the comments and keep us posted on your progress. And if you need a training program with little to no equipment, then check out my ebook, Your Home Fitness Program, that I've linked down below. It is a great option for learning how to work out from home and getting in great shape with little to no equipment. And if you're just starting in the fitness world, that could be a great option for you as well. Remember, you don't have to be fit to be a hero. Being fit and healthy is more of a personal journey. A hero can be anyone doing the simplest acts of kindness. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.